Hey fellas, I'm currently working on this 1/18 scale great white shark by Pegasus Hobbies, and kind of an unusual kit. I saw it on eBay and thought it'd be kind of cool and different to do. I may put it in a diorama, I don't know. One of those things that's just kind of different than my normal jets and planes. So I was going to post a video on painting my F14, but and I started filming, but some of the footage was kind of crappy, and so I just decided to scrap that. Maybe next time. I got another F14 in there. It's like the 5th or 6th Tomcat that I've painted, but and I'm getting better at it. But anyway, I thought I'd show you the results of it. It is currently on eBay, and I had somebody ask me not too long ago how I could. They were kind of questioning how I could sell my models and that I put a lot of work into. And for me, it's not really like a money making venture, because if you think about it, as much time as I put in on them, it's not like I'm making a lot of money, you know, when I do sell a model. But you know, for me, it's the process of making it. It's the I hate to sound melodramatic or dorky, but it's kind of the joy of creating something, and it's not actually having the thing, if you get what I'm saying. But you know, and the money that I do get when I sell models is I just put it back into buying more models and paint and supplies. So it's not like, you know, I'm needing this to put food in my mouth. But so anyway, I'll stop rambling. Let's take a look at my F14, and then I'll show you the A10 that I had finished and the base, and I think it turned out okay. So let's take a look. All right, here's the finished F14. It's Tamiya's 148 F14D Tomcat. And as you can see, I really weathered the hell out of it. And I love building these and painting these just because there's so much you can do to them. There's so many paint schemes. You know, the F14 was so widely used, and it's really a cool jet to build, and it looks cool. But here it is. When I paint these, I start off with a black base coat, and then I basically black base it, but instead of using the gray color for my marbling coat, I use a white. And for me, on these planes, that just gives it a little more depth and a little more leeway whenever I go to weathering. I can have it really weathered, or I can spray a little bit more gray color and cover it up if I get a little too much. Then what I do after I get the gray coats down, and this one's got the three color camouflage scheme: the medium gray on top, the dark ghost gray on the side, and then the light ghost gray on the bottom. And they all kind of blend together. If you see a weathered F14, at a glance, it kind of looks like it's only one color. But so then I spray my gray colors, and then I do the salt technique on top, and then mist a little lighter color of almost a white over the salted areas until I get the look that I'm going for. Then once that's done, then I use my masking fluid, and I go around some of the areas. I don't know if the video's picking it up real well, but some of the areas like over here on the wing, and put some masking fluid down along some of the panel lines. And I take Tamiya smoke and just go over that a little bit, and it looks like a stain, and it also brings out some of these panel lines like they did some patchwork on it. After the decals are on, then I use, and I go back with a little bit of gray and kind of blend in the decals and fade them out with an airbrush. Then I used my oil, I used a lot of oil work on this one. Obviously you can see the dirt and stuff around the walkway. Ooh, my missile fell off. But these are magnetized, so they just go right back on. But as you can see up here, I used some browns and some sepia colors and some, I think some off-white, maybe some buff, and dirtied up the walkway area. And on F14s, if you see them with their wings extended, there's this like dirt grease area, and that's really easy to do. I've seen a couple ways to do it, but basically what I do is I spread I've got some smoke colored oil paint, and basically what I'll do is I'll spread the smoke colored oil paint on there, and then I'll close up the wing, put my like stiff brush down, and then open it up, and it creates that look. And then I'll close the wing up and then just wipe this area off so it stops right at that demarcation line. Use a little bit of oil paint here to create that look of that worn airbag. I also did something a little different on this one than I normally have. Once I had all my oil work down, and I also hit the panel lines with, and this has real fine panel line detail. I also hit that with like a blue-black panel line wash, and it kind of like brought out some of those panel lines that were a little bit hidden. But after all that, what I did is I took some thinner, and I just put a thin coat of thinner on the upper surfaces. And then I took some, I think I still got the palette. I took some blue, white, and black, and I just did like a dot filter, and then kind of rubbed it in until I got what I wanted, just to give it various tones. And that, and I think that it's subtle, but I think it really works. The base, I painted the base. Obviously it mimics the tail fin, and thought I would bring a little bit of color to this otherwise drab display. But yeah, I cut out on my Photoshop program, I made this Sundowner's tail fin artwork, and then cut it out with my Cricut, and then masked that off and painted it. And I think it turned out really well. So that is my Tamiya F14D Tomcat. And it is currently for sale on eBay. All right, let's get rid of this one. Bring in the other one that I have. All right, I briefly showed this one when I showed you how I paint the checkerboard pattern. This is the Hobbyboss 148 A10. Wasn't the greatest kit in the world. There seemed to be a lot of flash, you know, and it definitely didn't have Tamiya's fit. I was expecting a lot more, but overall, I mean, it's a good model. It's a lot better than anything else out there, I think. But yeah, this is the finished A10, and basically, I had the idea of the base and then decided to build the A10 on top of it. But you know, the base turned out pretty good. I don't think it actually got the exact look I was going for. I was kind of wanting a forced perspective, and it actually, when you photograph it and at certain angles, it actually does look kind of cool. But it's kind of, I found out you really can't do a forced perspective with just a one-dimensional display. I think you really need a back and maybe a side. But anyway, you know, overall it turned out okay. I'm going to keep this one. The base is made out of, what did I put down? let's see, I've almost forgot what I put down. I think it was, oh yeah, basically I, I just built these, I think I just built these mountains with air dry clay right over top of the wood. And then I took some sand and some sand and white glue and kind of painted on top. And then I, to give it like a rough texture. And then I went over in certain areas and used white glue and baking soda and to create the terrain. And then the river is just, that's just the wood part that I used my gloss Mod Podge on. I'd painted it and then just used the gloss Mod Podge to make the waves. And at certain angles you can see the, I don't know if this will pick it up, but you can actually see the little ripple of the waves in the river. But yeah, it turned out okay. Looks pretty good in my display case. The A10, I didn't go overboard on weathering. I had one specific image in a that I picked up off the interwebs and used that as a reference to kind of create, you know, the dirty. I think this was like a sepia and an earth tone oil paints that I used to dirty it up a little bit. But overall, it's basically, I think I black based it, and then the only oil work I did on it was just the dirty areas. So and that's it. I had a couple other things that I've been working on, but I don't know that I'll show those because they really didn't turn out that well. So anyway, I'm gonna get to work on this shark and then see what I got coming up next. I don't know. I'll probably be putting out a couple videos every week or so, and so stay tuned.